You serious?
Hello, there's plenty of ways to kill some time out there. Right now, you're killing some time with me. I'm Marcus Bronzy.
And me, I'm Funk Butcher.
Yeah. We have a website, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Where you can see all of the things we talk about pretty much on the show, right?
Yeah.
Get more information on them.
Visually feel.
You can visually listen to them.
Yes.
Listen with your eyes.
Yeah. Feel it with your eyeballs.
Yes. howtokillanhour.com is the site. All the blog stuff's at howtokillanhour.com/blog. And you can listen to all the shows from this show, if you want to listen to it again, and all of the shows before it.
Yes.
From number one until this one right here. Oh man, you know what, Funk? Those are some nice crisps that we just finished just before. Pringles.
Yep.
The crisp of Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah.
Now, who might be the Prime Minister of the UK.
Fingers crossed, toes crossed.
Yeah, we'll
crossed.
see in the next few days.
Yep.
Listen, bro, you battered a whole, Pringles come in a 190 gram tin.
Yeah.
There were about 10 grams left for me at the bottom of the tin.
No, I offered you some when I first came in.
Okay, all right. I had 5 grams then. let's be a bit liberal with this. I had 10 grams earlier and 10 grams after. There's 170 grams of Pringle left.
Yeah.
And you smashed them.
Do you know what? I've been pretty open about and transparent about my crisp addiction.
I wasn't aware of it.
The crisp addiction.
I wasn't aware it was an actual addiction.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a hobby.
No, I've actually got a crisp addiction. I can't function without crisps.
Have you ever tried to do any sort of
Hard crisps.
counselling or
Hard crisps? I'm on hard
You've
crisps.
done hard crisps now?
Yeah, hard crisps. Like
So
McCoy's.
So what was your journey like into the world of crisps? Like, how did you start off? Because they say that hard crisps is something that you're usually led onto with a gateway crisp. So
Yeah.
what was your gateway crisp?
My gateway crisp was probably Quavers.
Okay.
Quavers or Skips.
A skip.
Yeah, Skips were they were sold in like a prawn cocktail, and they're generally for like young kids,
Yeah.
kids or kids that are teething. They just melt on your tongue. You don't have to, you don't have to do much crunching.
Yeah.
And that was my gateway into.
They're very Moorish, aren't they?
Yeah, very Moorish.
So somebody got you hooked on those.
Yeah, somebody got me hooked on those.
And then what did you progress onto?
And then I progressed onto things like hula hoops.
Mm-hmm.
And then then we started getting real serious. I started to move on towards kettle chips.
Oh wow.
Yeah, kettle chips is like the bougie end.
Okay.
Hipster crisps.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went, you were eating those.
Yeah.
And obviously they come in small packets, but also big ones. Is this when you kind of increase the amount of crisp that you were taking in?
I always assume people like who eat kettle chips are like they vote Conservative.
Okay.
It's quite a refined. It's like the caviar of crisps.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously that probably obviously had an impact on your income eating those crisps all the time. So you had to find your sort of middle ground. So is that when you found Pringles?
That's when I found Pringles, Wheat Crunchies,
McCoy's,
and Roysters. Roysters is quite a rarity in the crisp scene. They don't sell it. They sell it in multi-packs in like one Tesco's around me in East London, but they don't really the kind of the general independent stockists. They don't really deal with the Roysters. That's under the counter stuff.
What makes
you have to you have to make sure that everyone's out the store. You have to go to the door, you have to close the door, lock the door, and then you have to kind of ask them for the Roysters, and they can kind of do the transaction there. But Roysters, they're T-bone steak flavour, and they're incredible.
So T-bone steak flavoured crisps.
Yeah, Roysters.
Very specific, not a rump.
No.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A T-bone.
Yeah.
All right. I've never had those before, I don't think.
That's the only flavour they do. T-bone steak, Roysters. They don't do
they're
any other
so
flavour.
confident in their crisp.
Yeah.
They only have one flavour.
One flavour.
Wow. And if you were going to never have crisps again, what would be the last pack of crisps that you had? Would it be a Roysters?
Yeah, it would be Roysters. Yeah.
And would you do... what's your crisp eating
That would be my last packet of crisps on Death Row, Roysters.
Wow. That would be your last meal on Death Row? Just a packet of Roysters? Or would you try and get a multi-pack?
Yeah, multi-pack.
And a glass of water maybe? Because obviously you don't want things to get too dry.
Yeah, I'd have multi-pack, 6 packets, and then hit me with the electric chair. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is How to Kill an Hour. It's not a podcast about crisps. It's a podcast about different ways to kill time.
Yeah. But generally speaking, whilst I'm killing time, doing the activities on How to Kill an Hour, I am eating these crisps that we're talking about.
More often than not, you are eating crisps. I didn't know you had such an affinity with crisps. I will... Moving forward, I will accommodate that. You
know the funniest thing is not even a joke. I've been eating. Anyone who knows me, knows that crisps is in part of my DNA.
Really?
Yeah, I'm serious about.
You are what you eat. How much of you do you think is crisp?
I don't know, probably about 89%. Like, yeah. I'm not descended from apes and primates. I'm descended from potatoes.
I wonder why you start sweating every time I order the mashed potato at Nando's. I can't look at it. I can't look at it. That's our alarm to tell us to stop talking about crisps. So a lot of the time on this show we talk about things that in the tech world, innovations, gadgets, we kill time with them as well. And I usually start the show talking about something I like to kill time with, like Funk has spoken about crisps. I'm going to talk about something that is an invention that I don't think I really want to try out. It's called a Jabii, Jabii, and it's called the friendly boxing game.
Okay.
Bit of an oxymoron there. Yeah, it's going out for some friendly boxing. It's like when you used to play fight at school. That's what it sounds like. So when I saw this Jabii, friendly boxing, I thought, oh, go on, I'll have a look.
Yeah.
So I clicked on the link to this. And basically, you know, in cartoons, there used to be that sort of device for hitting another cartoon character, which was like a boxing glove on a spring kind of thing. Yeah. Or that arm that would go whoosh.
That came out of the box.
Yeah. This is very similar to that. It's like it's a ball. Yeah. Basically, it's a glove that you wear on the end of your hand, and it's got a little ball on it. And as you push your hand out, the ball extends along some sort of... it extends, and you basically hit someone else with it. This is a Kickstarter that's out, and it's being promoted. The Jabii. What are your thoughts on something that is designed to basically punch up someone else with?
I'm just watching the video now of these two kids kind of extending this, and it literally is like the thing from the Looney Tunes cartoons with the Jack in the Box, the fist comes out and hits people. I can see this being... I can see this not ending well. I can see this not ending well. I can see this kind of going down the route of the early 90s when we had we had a campaign linked to the drinks company Tango, which kind of caused a whole nation of kids to tango, in inverted commas, each other, which meant that they would slap like one another in the face.
Yeah.
So,
because in the advert, there was a guy that would run up to you if you were drinking Tango, slap you in the face and go, "You been Tango?"
Yeah, and he had an orange face.
Yeah, the orange face, and he'd like slap someone up. So that's that. Kids used to run around at school time. Yeah. Teeth were flying out, tears were flying out, blood was flying out. Miss, what happened? Miss, all crying. Teacher's like, what happened? And they're like, oh, I got tangoed. So that happened, and that was like that was in the papers and everything, wasn't it? They had to pull that advert till after Watershed.
Yeah.
So now somebody's decided that it's lovely, the video for this, because there's like loads of kids sitting there on iPads, and they're like, kids nowadays, look at these millennials all looking down at screens. It's so bad for their health. Well, instead, let's have them punch you.
Well, what basically what we're witnessing is the evolution of it. So we've had the tango at the beginning. Yeah. Then we had Happy Slap. Remember that?
Happy Slap, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then we had something else with Vine. Remember the Vine one where the black kid slapped his dad? And then that kind of went viral. Yeah. That one. And then now we're onto this Jabii boxing thing. I guess it's better than spinners in schools.
Nah, I prefer spinners. Spinners are alright. I mean, spinners just look annoying now. Like, stop spinning, man. But what is it? Have we got to a state now where, if it can, it will be invented on Kickstarter now? Because the thing is, though, the ad for this, it looks really cool. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's not like this is a professional boxing kit where you go train. It's just have this thing and start smashing your friend in the face with it.
Yeah, I wonder how much thought the makers put into this kind of being acceptable on a legislative level, because we don't want to get in a situation like we had with hoverboards where they were invented, they were sold, retailed, and then subsequently they were banned. Yeah, because for numerous reasons the government said, hey, we don't want you kids having fun.
I wanted to ban those just because they didn't actually hover.
Yeah,
I found that was like a missed representation. Yeah, like that's unreasonable. Yeah, I wanted something that hovered. This clearly just rolls.
Well, technically speaking, this is a false advertising as well, because that doesn't look like a jab to me. That looks like an extended hook. Extended hooky.
What was that character from Street Fighter? Dalsim.
Dalsim.
It's like a Dalsim.
Yoga Flame.
Yoga Flame.
Yoga Fight.
Yoga Flame. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So would you let the kids play this? Here, kids, go knock yourself out.
Literally. Yeah, why not?
Really?
Yeah.
Nah, man. Really? How long until tears, though?
Exactly.
How long until tears? Or someone punches a vase?
It depends.
Or someone punches the TV?
It depends if they don't make any modifications to it and put knuckle dusters on the end of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I just put a couple of sharpened pencils on it. Yeah. So, yeah, I saw this. They're spring-loaded boxing gloves.
Like the guy from Kickboxer. You know the guy, Tong Po in Kickboxer?
Tong Po. Who's
What did he put on the end of his gloves? He dipped it in glue and he put glass in it.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I've seen so many of those films. There's somebody that like drugged the gloves as well so that you'd feel dizzy. Flipping hell. But yeah, so that was something that I saw and I was just like, bruv. Like, to be fair, they've only had 70 backers at this moment in time and they've got 48 DKK. I don't know what currency that is.
I think the police need to look into the backgrounds of those 70 backers. It could be quite violent individuals.
Yeah, I was just like, they've got this guy going, hey kids, come, do you want to play? And they're like, no, we're bored. We're on our iPads. So they thought, I know, I'll design a boxing glove.
Yeah. Think for the next generation of MMA fighters out there.
It looks like an MMA tool. It comes with an app as well. It comes with an app so that it registers how many impacts you land as well. So when you've battered somebody sufficiently, it tells you when to stop.
What are we doing to our children?
I don't know. What a load of craziness, eh? Anyway, let's move on. You actually, one more killer bit this week. The Surge computer game. We got sent it. It's out now. We didn't rush our review out because I thought it would be good to have a little bit of a go with the game.
Yeah.
So they say it's a hardcore, challenging, visceral melee combat RPG action game.
Yeah.
Set in a world devoted by war and global warming, apparently.
Yeah.
But what is it like? You got the game.
I can
you got your hands on it.
That description, what you just delivered right there, is exactly that. It's all encompassing and very complicated. A little bit too complicated.
In what way?
In the sense of, it's very hard to define it in one specific genre. And I know a lot of games set out to kind of redefine themselves and not be pigeonholed and set new trends and whatnot. But this game, it overlaps into so many different aspects of pre-existing genres that you're kind of left wondering, what is the object of this game? Is it a battle? Is it a strategy? Is it the storyline? It's all these things kind of going on. So basically, when you start the game, you start off as the main protagonist, and he's got he signs up for work at this looks like some sort of kind of futuristic construction company. You're set in the future, and you're in a wheelchair, and something goes horribly wrong. There's kind of like a power shortage, and the lights go out, and you wake up. You're kind of fused with this mecha body armor, but it's welded into your body very painfully. There's this cutscene where you see these, like, the bolts getting welded right into your skin, screwed, going through your shoulder blades and whatnot.
Was he going, ah?
Yeah, screaming also, and he kind of blacks out, and you wake up in basically in the scrapyard, and you literally, that's kind of where you get the tutorial of how to kind of utilize the controls. And
so he's already got the suit on at the start of the game.
Yeah, so pretty much at the beginning of the game, you start off with the suit, and then I guess from that point onwards, you progress into how what the intentions are of the company that you was working for, why this suit is being welded for you, what happened to all the staff that was in the building when you first got there, and so forth. Controls are a little bit clunky. Visually, it looks nice, but again, there's so much going on from that initial first cutscene to where you're landing in the middle of the scrapyard. I felt like that could have been explained a little bit better, because this Surge title, it's not like there's pre-existing titles which can kind of explain and warm newcomers to the release as to what this whole game is about. So they definitely needed a little bit more explanation in the beginning to kind of not alienate people who have never played this title before. So
Alright.
it's a bit of a harsh review, but again, in a kind of a month where you're having all these amazing titles coming through, I felt like it stands. It seems to me that these games need to stand the test of time by being very, what's the word, deliberate and pointed in the way they execute their narratives and their marketing. And again, because with the current trend of the bigger titles cutting through, they will kind of fall by the wayside if they don't get that right.
Yeah.
So The Surge for me, I'm giving it like a 2.5, maybe 3
Yeah.
out of 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah. Was it fun mashing people up though in the game? Because can you not like target limbs and stuff like that?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, you can kind of get into that whole, because there's two types of people that buy Grand Theft Auto. There's people that buy Grand Theft Auto and actually do the whole story modes, and people that buy Grand Theft Auto and just drive around mashing their cars and modifying them and running over people and buying prostitutes.
Which one are you?
Next. No, actually, I actually like the storyline. So on Grand Theft Auto, so I kind of do a bit of both. But in this game, it does seem like its strength lies in that whole kind of beating up the robots and destruction and whatnot, as opposed to progressing through the storyline. Because the storyline to me hasn't been projected as the strongest feature of the game itself, kind of thing. It is not like when you pick up a game like, for instance, Final Fantasy VII, and the initial cutscenes, or any of the Final Fantasy titles, the initial cutscenes that kick the game off, they make you want to play the game even more so than just going off on your own tangent, even though you have free roam and whatnot, like a normal RPG. Similarly with Metal Gear Solid to Phantom Pain, the initial cutscenes in the beginning, you're just like, this is insane. I want to play this kind of thing and find out more about the game, as opposed to kind of going off and doing my own thing.
Interesting. And this game lacked it, really.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. The Surge. Check it out. All links to everything we talk about are in the show description at howtokillanhour.com. Next. Toyota is working on developing flying cars with the aim of having a single driver vehicle ready to fly in time for the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo. The idea is a small car that will smoothly transition from driving to the skies and from the skies to driving in order to deliver the Olympic torch to its last leg to officially open the games. Now, Funk, I'm going to play a clip of a test flight, and I'd like you to guess what happens in this clip from the audio that I play. All right, I'm pressing play now.
That was me, not the clip. Okay, so I'd never heard that clip before, but I wasn't far off.
That's pretty good. That's actually pretty good. Are you sure?
Wow.
Let's do your one again. So I'm gonna let you guess what happened to the flying device there, Funk.
Okay, so that test run was a complete and utter failure, it would appear.
I mean, it's like it's like a box,
yeah,
with some scaffolding around it and some motors on it, and it kind of goes up, tilts to the side a bit, and I'm gonna say land,
okay,
which is a very interesting operative word, but it lands a bit wonky and it crashes, bro, into the floor again.
I'm thinking 2 words: lead balloon.
Yeah, pretty much. But they've invested nearly $400,000 into this to bring it to life.
Is that to repair it or to kind of?
Sorry, it will now be $800,000. Yeah, but I'm really surprised that they're not further with this, because we got helicopters, we got drones, those fly easy. Why don't they just make a big drone with wheels? I don't get this. Why is it so hard? Like, it's just a car's just a big thing.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
There has to be some patents on the technology that currently Uber have with their flying saucers that they're soon going to be rolling out everywhere.
Can you imagine that when you swipe right for Uber? I'm going to actually quick digression. I got a mate, and he's, I don't know, for want of a better set of words, he's an OG, yeah? Mm-hmm. You don't mess with him. My friend called him an Uber the other day.
Yeah.
And he called him, there's like... You can get Uber, XL, whatever, but if you keep swiping, you get like Uber for like people that need wheelchair access, and also people that might, need a slightly more helping hand. Like, so my friend selected the Uber that's like, you get this really nice, you get a driver who's like, can handle people that have got like, learning difficulties and stuff like that. So we
really?
So yeah, like we I didn't. My friend sent him an Uber. This big hard as nails guy's coming out of the house. Some gentleman tries to hold his hand.
Really?
And guide him to the car.
Oh, that is brilliant.
So he came over to the house and we're like, how's your Uber? He goes, bit off key. A bit off key, very helpful, but bit off key. Oh man, but anyway,
he held my bags for me.
But this flying car, I just wanted to throw it by you, Funk, and say like, well, should this be as hard as it is?
I've got a feeling that, no shade to Tia, I feel like Mercedes or BMW probably could have executed this a little bit better.
Yeah, get a little smart car.
Yeah, they wouldn't have had that for their for their Tesla. Yeah.
Oh man. All right, we'll keep an eye on that, man. I wouldn't mind 20. They ain't got long, have they? 3 years to go from that to something that's safe and roadworthy. Mad. Yeah. Anyway, so pre-Apple WWDC is where we were at. And I honestly was sitting there for ages thinking, what does WWDC mean? Like, I had no idea what it meant.
World Wrestling.
I thought it sounded like a belt from the WWE. It's the Worldwide Developers Conference, but it's about to happen. We're about to hear from Apple what their plans are. There's loads of rumors flying around, so I thought we'd just muller through a few of them real quick. So the Siri speaker is on the rumor list. So basically, Apple has reportedly been like quietly, or not really that quietly, working on its own version of the Amazon Echo Google Home situation, but we've seen something that we reckon could have smashed it out of the park, but it's not come to market. That was the NVIDIA Spot, which is a little speaker you plug into the wall and it connects to your NVIDIA Shield, which is a Google Assistant when that comes into play. But if that doesn't come into play in time and Apple get this out, I reckon they could own the home automation market. Because everyone, not everyone, but many of us have Apple phones.
Yeah.
You have your smart kit, like a light bulb.
Yeah.
Just get a Siri speaker.
Yeah.
Do you reckon Apple could be the people to handle this? And they've got the home automation app as well in your phone.
Yeah.
Do you reckon this is it? This is them? You knew this was coming though, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. And then obviously I was trying to gauge who would be first to the punch in terms of the kind of the ecosystems for the household. But when you look at companies like Amazon rolling out their division of home shopping and grocery shopping, I can't see, because that's the chief component linking the internal with the external. So you've got the external world of the shops, the retail, things that are deliverable, consumables, and your Amazon device linking that to that. So it's all well and good. We've kind of explored the idea of having products that can switch off your lights, set your alarm, all that kind of stuff. But what about so that you don't have to leave your home? And that's where Amazon is kind of, they're beating them to the punch there.
So you think because they've already got the systems in place to deliver, doing the smart.
Well, they've already got ecosystem. Yeah. They've got this warehouse of any goods, whatever you want, kind of thing. And now they're going to move into groceries as well.
Yeah.
So whether you want a new TV or a new sofa, or you need some apples and bananas, you can get that through Amazon. And now you have a device from your home that can order those goods, So the only missing components that they have is kind of, I guess, more tech, more home tech aspects like what Apple have. But that seems a lot easier to do than building what Amazon have been doing for the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years.
Okay, so if well, it all depends on what speaker we adopt. But I presume if you have the Siri speaker, they can't make it so that you can't use it with Amazon, because
I'm not to say that they can't, but I mean the branding is stronger if you're kind of using the same thing from the beginning of the process to the end.
Yeah,
that's how they're going to sell their adverts. At the end of the day, the adverts is going to have this little guy pressing his Amazon Echo at one point, ordering something on Amazon online, or ordering something on the Amazon shop, the Amazon delivery van pulling up. Visually, Apple can't represent that in an advert yet from a marketing perspective. So that's nil pois.
Okay, all right. Also, there's talk about the iPad Pro 10.5. They're saying that there's going to be another screen size to the iPad line, a 10.5 inch iPad Pro with a similar footprint as its 9.7 inch sibling. So dramatically reduced bezels as well, they're saying. So pretty much same size iPad, bigger screen. Well, I don't think we really need to get into that too much. MacBook Pro and Air spec bumps. So they're going to push them up a little bit. It's been almost a year since Apple made the first MacBook refresh.
Is that what they've said? Is that like literally
bump the specs? So basically
that vague?
Extra RAM.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
How about putting the USBs back?
Exactly.
Yeah? How about that? Just for like, you know what? I'm not against USB-C. I think
all the
it's great.
Serato users out there that are crying.
All the DJs with DJ software that have to get a dongle. So yeah. So there's going to be a spec bump. So it doesn't seem like a physical change because, you know, we were kind of thinking that they might go back again. In the software, though, for iOS, it's quite interesting. So the Siri speaker stuff aside, the iOS is probably going to be the centerpiece of the keynote. We already know now, like in early episodes of How to Kill Now, we've discussed how the iPhone can literally be used to create music that is worthy of worldwide distribution, aka Kendrick Lamar's producer. I can't remember the name. Producer that produced for Kendrick Lamar with an iPhone and a guitar and some special kit between it. But what they're saying is iOS 11 is, there's some stuff up in the air, but they're expecting all of the hub input exactly with the home stuff, kind of giving Alexa a run for her money. A better Siri is what we're thinking about. So if they manage to up the levels of the Siri and getting multi-user login and support for the Apple Pencil, new Apple Music, and Apple and more content editing for video, more video editing content as well, is what they're saying. And hopefully a new look. So not like they're saying it's quite a lot, but I don't feel like that's too much. I feel like squeezing a lot of excitement out of not much. There's no physical reveals. Like I wouldn't mind a little someone alluding to the new iPhone, but we ain't gonna get that for a little while, though, are we? Yeah,
I mean, I know the listener can't see my face, but I've got my bitch resting face. I'm not impressed at all.
If you were a meme, what one would you be?
Gosh, there's too many. It'll be the straightest, unimpressed face meme gif that you could ever find on the net right now. Like nothing from that description leaps out to me to make me think that Apple are onto something here to kind of regain consumer confidence in their products. It seems like they've just kind of gone, do you know what? We've hit a brick wall in terms of our hardware. Let's just throw all our resources into the software now.
I feel like they're under pressure to deliver now, and so like they can't just say, can we just skip this keynote because we haven't got anything to say? Like, or can we skip this worldwide developer conference because we're not really sure? They have to come with some talk, don't they?
But this is the thing, they have to come with some talk, but they're still not directing their focus in the places that people are talking about, i.e. the MacBook Pro, i.e. the Mac Pro also, i.e. the iPhone. These are the major concerns that users of Apple have had. Like that MacBook Pro is just, it's diabolical, and it's actually quite worrying as a MacBook Pro user and fan that the next generations of MacBook Pro aren't looking too promising.
I just want, you know what, my current Mac, I'm not on the new one, I'm on the one just before it,
Exactly. You had to go backwards to find a Mac. You had to go back in time. It's like someone offered you a flying car and you said, no, I'll have a horse and cart, please. Because the horse and cart is more efficient.
If I'm honest, yes. it is like...
Do it.
Yeah, man.
Throw him under the bus.
Yeah, man. Like, I feel like...
apple juice.
My Mac has always been a Swiss Army knife of a product.
Used to be.
I mean, that's what I got now. And I feel like I can head into a situation, like yesterday I was with some camera people that film in, and they were like, can we look at this footage? Whipped out the card from the camera, popped the card into my Mac, we're good to go. And I just think like, like memory cards aren't dead. Like those sorts of MMC cards. HDMI is not a dead port to have.
Yeah.
Thunderbolt, okay, it's subjective. But so I feel like this Mac should have had one USB-C, or maybe we had two USB-Cs and one normal USB, just to say, look, this is the way things are moving.
But you're bringing up the functionality of a product which currently doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it needs to exist.
And that's the problem.
It needs to exist. So yeah, so we'll see where that goes, man. I mean, there's a lot of pressure from these big companies.
Under pressure.
There is. Another big company actually that's getting a lot of pressure is Facebook. We've mentioned on the show recently that there's been some research that about social media, and Instagram came up as one of the ones that made people unhappy. Now, with regards to Facebook, there is another few conversations with people discussing whether Facebook makes you unhappy or not. And I don't want to come down on Facebook and say that they're the social media that makes people the most unhappy. I don't think you can actually blame it on one social media. I think it's sort of the way somebody approaches all of the social medias, because they all kind of have the same sort of reward, endorphin releasing reward for your likes, comments.
But I think in this day and age, there isn't anyone who uses one form of social media.
Exactly. Yeah, they use all of them. So I think it's kind of hard to stick it on people. But, you know, like, so it's last week we heard it's Instagram. This week we're hearing it's Facebook. But it kind of got me thinking about how Facebook works. And I've started been reading, and, you know, if I'm boring you, Funk, just tell me straight away, because obviously I don't want to bore this. I was reading this article on TechCrunch by John Evans, and he was saying that the problem with Facebook is that Facebook has become a feedback loop, and despite its best intentions, has become a vicious spiral, or can. So Facebook uses this thing called scale behavioral targeting. So what it does, he's saying that doesn't just, and I'll explain what that is, it doesn't just reflect your behavior, it influences your behavior. So over time, a service which is supposed to connect humanity is actually partitioning us into disconnected bubbles. Now, the way it works is the newsfeed, the more you engage with a post from a particular user, the more often their posts are shown to you. So if I comment on your posts, it will show me more of Funk's posts over, you know, let's say Billy. Yeah. If I don't comment, share Billy's post, I won't see as much of as his. Yeah. So the more I engage with a specific type of link as well, then the same thing will happen. Like, you know, if it's a specific page or if it's like a kind of video or something like that. So far, so good. It's just showing you more of what you're interested in. Nothing wrong with that. But they're saying what that does is, say, let's use Billy as an example. What that does is it creates an in-group cluster of Facebook friends. So say me, you and Billy are mates, but I'm only liking and commenting your stuff. I won't see much of Billy's stuff, so I'm going to see more of yours. So therefore, I'm going to like more of yours again. So then I'm going to see even more of you.
Okay.
So I'm going to like even more. These times now, Billy's not getting any likes, you know, and I'm probably not communicating with him as much. So at what point is it changing the way I behave?
Okay.
So there's another example. Someone tweeted saying,
but that's to assume that there is something of Billy's for you to like in the first place, though.
Nah, not most of the time.
Pointless selfies, Billy.
Billy with his top off. I've seen more of Billy naked than I have seen of loads of people. I think I've seen more of Billy than I have of Kim Kardashian over the last year. It's crazy. Bill Kardashian. So someone says, Mr. Williams said that the trouble is that Facebook rewards extremes. So if you're driving down the road and you see a car crash, Funk, of course you look at it. Everyone will look at it, right? But the internet interprets this behavior like everyone likes car crashes, so then it will start trying to supply more car crashes. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's a bit weird, so it can go a bit wrong.
Okay.
Like, everyone might like to look at something that's a bit gruesome. It doesn't mean that they like it and they should see more of it. But what are your thoughts on that theory? Does it sound like I'm just kind of going into some mad pseudo matrix scared, or does that sound logical? Because when I read that, I was like, you know what? He's got a real good point here, man.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it's not an intentional thing. It's like Facebook's just trying to show you what you like, but computers aren't clever like that. Like, if I look at terrorist attacks, a lot, because a lot are going on in the world recent, especially close to home, and it shows me more. Is it controlling me or?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Facebook around about maybe about 2 years, maybe about 2.5 years ago, they did a rebrand and reconfigured their pages. And obviously they had the user pages, they had the Facebook fan pages. And one thing they took from the Facebook fan pages and they incorporated into the personal pages was the concept of the follow. So you could friend someone, you can make someone your friend on Facebook, but you could also follow them. Now, what you're describing is that information from my feed or your feed would appear on your timeline. And that's what the follow was doing.
Right.
But what Facebook was allowing you to do was giving you the autonomy was to pick the information that lands on your feed. If someone was if Billy was your friend, but you wasn't following him, you wouldn't see the information on your timeline.
Right.
But yet that is up to you if you want to. So I guess the key architects behind whether or not you see information is you, because there is that ability for you to kind of follow someone who is already your friend to get more of the information from their timeline, their pointless dinners, their selfies and whatnot. If you're not clicking that follow button, then you will get less information from them. So I guess Facebook can hold their hands up and be like, well, we've got these things in place. If you want to see more of this person's dinners or this one's job applications and whatnot, you can click follow. You don't have to see the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, which people have cited as led to kind of like kind of the kind of behavior that that people have seen around election times and all that kind of stuff, where the echo chamber that exists on Facebook kind of perpetuates this kind of this belief that certain groups or certain constituencies would win, but really they're just echoing the voices of those within their network. You can break that network if you click follow of people you're not generally kind of seeing within your general timeline.
Yeah, but check this scenario. So imagine we both had exactly the same friends list.
Okay.
And I happen to like person B a couple of more times.
Yeah.
And comment, and you commented on person A's stuff a couple of more times. Everyone else, same amount of hits. Isn't it weird that your timeline will show more of one person and less, like more of A and less of B, and mine will show more of B and less of A, even though we follow the same people? What if A had really left-wing views and B had really right-wing views? That's kind of changing our perception. Like, Facebook's written an algorithm that chooses what it shows us, whereas I know Twitter, you can have like tweets that it recommends. Whereas if we both had the same Twitter feed and followed the same people, but maybe liked and tweeted at different people, A and B, whatever, that same example, we would still have the same feed. Does that I mean, this is kind of why I'm a fan of Twitter as well, because it is kind of, I feel like it's real.
Yeah.
Raw.
Well, I feel like what you're describing before applies more to Twitter, because we generally have the same industry friends that we follow, yet there's some things that you would miss and that I would miss and so forth, but there is no way to kind of control the amount of information that we see from any one follower on Twitter, but you can on Facebook through because they're separate entities. Someone who's a friend doesn't necessarily mean that you see everything that's on their timeline, but if you're following them, then you can see more of their stuff on their timeline. But Twitter doesn't have that.
Okay, yeah. If you unfollow, you're out.
Yeah,
or you're in.
Yeah.
That unfollow on Facebook's great. So great.
Yeah.
Look, I usually like to talk about politics, but unfollow.
Yeah. But I guess Twitter has a mute function.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. And you can mute words as well.
Yeah.
And a block as
Yeah.
well. I have blocked a couple of people. Okay, interesting. We'll keep an eye on that, as I always like to say. So, Google is going to let publishers charge users for ad blockers. So ad blockers, the things that block ads. I mean, I know you love a good ad blocker, don't you?
Yeah.
You're like, fuck them ads.
Yeah.
So Google will let publishers ask people who use ad blockers to either enable advertising or make payment to view content without ads.
Okay.
So funding choices is what it's going to be called. It's going to roll out in North America, the UK, Germany, Australia, and New Zealand. Google is also working on an ad blocker of its own, which will function in the Chrome browser. Wonder how much that will cost. Wonder how much that will cost. So
$1 million.
$1 million. I mean, apparently it's to help out people because ad blockers take a big toll on publishers and producers who rely on advertising revenue. Google's vice senior president said that, and they want to.
It takes a big toll on my browser history as well. Click and refresh every time. Yeah.
Yeah. So ad blockers. I mean, technically they are taking money out of people's pockets who are earning money off of ads, but do you feel like we should be given the choice to avoid ads when we want online, or should it be like old school TV when you just had to watch ads if you wanted to watch what you wanted to watch?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, when you get because there's ad blockers and there's pop-ups,
Yeah.
and that's the problematic thing. I mean, websites like SoundCloud, they use pop-ups,
Yeah.
and when you put an ad blocker on Chrome, it actually blocks. SoundCloud doesn't like it at all. It can't differentiate between the ad or the pop-up. So nothing, you can't log in or anything like that. Yeah. So generally speaking, I can't use SoundCloud in Chrome with my ad blocker on. I have to use it in Safari. And Chrome, it does get a bit annoying because what Chrome does, it tends to kind of, when you do your Google search, it'll bring up suggestions from stuff that you ordered on Amazon and whatnot.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I find that really weird.
So the kind of the cookie trail that exists because of ads leads you to use ad blockers. So a lot of these producers and whatnot and websites which are using ads, they have to understand that because there is no happy medium to stop this influx of ads spamming you. I guess it's no different from when you opt out of receiving spam mail and junk mail, but there is no opt out button on the internet. Unfortunately, we just kind of
incognito window. You just got to go incognito. You know that window you use when you know you don't want people to see your porn browsing history? That's what you need to use, incognito. Yeah.
So that stuff just gets like flung at us.
What, the porn? I fling myself at it. Oh, the ads. Yes. Yeah, very interesting. But yeah, Funk. I mean, I do feel bad that I feel bad for like content creators that might miss out on money, but I'm interested to see that a lot of YouTubers are making like ad-free content, and they're saying, "Oh, hey guys, go to my Patreon page or like do this," and they're kind of making their own ways of getting income, which I think's good because as a independent media creator, what you don't want to do is just sit there and rely on Google, because when they move the goalposts and all of a sudden you're not getting paid anymore because you're not getting a certain amount of views, or your views are from this place, or then you're in a bad position. But if you already have your own, you know, like your own page set up where people donate $1 a month or whatever like that, then I think you've diversified your income and you've made yourself safer. That's what I think anyway. So I think it's good that it's encouraging people to do that, and I'm seeing more of that. Because if YouTube, for example, like who's one of the biggest YouTube? KSI, he's probably nice now anyway. They could, you know, he could close up shop and just chill now. It's fair to say. But there's probably a point in his career and many YouTubers' career where they were like, this is the full-time job now. I'm making money. And if the goalposts move when you're 2 months, 3 months into that, you know what it's like, innit? Like it's, you need to build your own stability in. So I think it'll encourage people. Plus, ads are sometimes really shit. I want better ads. I think ads let me down. I like ads that draw me in properly. Like, we need more tango slaps adverts. We need to bring that back. What else?
Sometimes
we
you
need
don't
to bring
forget-
back those semi-racist ads.
Sometimes you don't even get ads of those qualities. I'm just talking about the ads that just pop up and say, "Hey, buy this," or
I'm a really lucky guy. I always have won the $1 million, you know, but I never click in. I've always win a car. There's always hot young girls in my area. Every time there's a pop up wherever I am, there's hot young girls in my area.
I hate them ones. And then when you close that window, another one opens, and another one opens, and another one opens. You just go down a wormhole. So that's what I'm trying to say. That's why ad blockers are needed.
Okay,
because these websites are taking the piss in terms of banking so much of their income stream on ads. I don't know how the such a large proportion of your income stream could be reliant on ads rather than the own product that you're advertising or selling.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Then from my perspective, that's a problem with the business structure.
I mean, we have ads.
Yeah, but obviously the ads can't supersede the actual content of what we're talking about.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? Everything in today's show was brought to you.
It kind of reminds me of back in the day. The kind of the terrestrial channel here, ITV.
Oh yeah,
and they used to have movies at 10 o'clock after the news, but the ads were like, I don't know, they were like 15 minutes. So you'd be watching a feature-length film, which is like 2.5 hours or whatever, 2 hours, and an advert every 15 minutes. You're just like, what the fuck? That's why Netflix is. Yeah, people love it.
That's why it was very American that when we got those sorts of ads, you know, because I've noticed in America that the ads are heavy, heavy ads.
Yeah,
but that's why I'm all about recording it when it's live and watching it back later, because when I see ads, I know that on the Skybox, if I press fast forward at the maximum speed, I do a minute every 3 seconds, so I can just sit there. 3 minutes of ads in the UK generally now. I sit there, I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Play. I'm nice. I don't play ads. But that's why, you're right. That's why Netflix are killing it.
Yeah.
No ads needed. You just pay for the content. Straight. It's wicked. Anyway, we just killed an hour. Actually, killed a whole hour. Do you like the longer episodes?
Yes, sir.
Do you like get deeper into conversation? What gem of knowledge shall we leave with our listener?
Vote Labour.
Before we go, can we talk about your exciting week then?
Yeah.
I feel stupid because we didn't talk about it at the start of the show. Yeah. So if you've made it this far through the show, you're about to get some gold that if you have turned off prior to this, you can't hear me calling you a cunt. Excellent.
So that's about over a week ago now.
Yeah.
I was at home doing what I'm doing on my laptop, finishing off some music, some bits and pieces.
Finishing off some...
He thought I was going to say something else.
Finish it off as you do.
And I got a follow from the leader of the Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn. And I was like, people just like, what? Yeah, so literally the soon to be Prime Minister, Jeremy Corbyn, he followed me on Twitter, and I thought, just okay, this might be some sort of glitch. So I didn't announce anything initially, and then kind of like half an hour passed, an hour passed, and I still hadn't been unfollowed. So I was like, hey, yeah, maybe I can just let my people know I'm in with the big leaguers here.
Yeah, so just so you know, Corbyn wasn't just laughing at you trolling and accidentally click follow. You know, it's for real.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of tweeted out that he's following me, and then said thanks. Followed him back.
Then, I thought he was going to go bouge and not. You followed him back?
Yeah, I followed him back.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So I was down with the party.
All right.
And then I got a DM about an event. Like
he slid in your DMs.
Slid in my DMs.
Jeremy slid into your DMs.
Yeah. Signed JC. I was like, what? So JC, as we call him, he's close friends.
I can't call him that. No, you can call him that.
You got to call him Mr. Corbyn, yeah. I call him JC.
Mr. Prime Minister.
Yeah, Mr.
Apparently,
Prime Minister.
Yeah.
So JC was having an event to kind of congratulate all the creatives who'd kind of helped galvanise the youth vote and got them mobilised and more aware of the importance of June the 8th, and how important it is to kind of their future. So they invited everyone down to Hackney, and there was a live event, and literally had the opportunity to kind of have a conversation with JC about the work I've been doing with and my thoughts on youth violence. But what I took away from it more than the ability to kind of get my thoughts across was the level of engagement of this guy is just unreal. It is not politician-like at all.
Really?
Yeah. Like, you know when you used to watch WWE and then the Rock used to come out and then someone had the kind of the banner up saying the people's champ. This is what this guy is. Yeah, he's not like a big 6'4" Samoan kind of wrestler, but he is the people's champ. His time and dedication and genuine level of engagement. I mean, I was talking to him at the kind of the gathering, and his kind of closest advisor was trying to kind of hurry him off to his other pressing engagements, and he was just like, hey, hold on, like, let this guy finish. This is the funk. No, he didn't say that, but he was just like, let this guy finish and whatnot. And he had to tell them several times. So I felt really infused by the fact that I really have this guy's ear. This isn't kind of a ploy. This isn't kind of one of those PR stunts where you kind of kiss the baby. He didn't kiss me, but this isn't anything like that. This was a real, genuine man of the people, and I felt like I had to experience that firsthand to kind of shape my mind as to which way I vote. I mean, either way, personally, Theresa May's not going to get my vote, but I needed to feel whether the vote for Labour on the 8th is a worthwhile one, and generally speaking, this guy is the real deal. Real deal Corbs.
There you go. Because I'm very skeptical as to people's personals. I think everyone's got a face they show the camera.
Yeah.
And some they don't. I don't like hearing. I don't like reading about stuff online. I don't even like print media. But hearing it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
From you, Funk. Or should we say the self-driving? No, the flying, the Toyota car's mouth.
Yeah.
I feel like wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very, like, when you told me this. Funk told me this on the phone. I was just like, I was gobsmacked.
Yeah.
I remember I was napping and I woke up and Funk was calling me, and I was like, as he told me the story, I was just getting more and more awake, and I was like, rah, don't need a coffee.
Yeah.
But I'm very interested. As you've spoken, I have looked at some of the people Jeremy Corbyn has followed, and there's only one sort of thing that's making me wobble, because there's a lot of consistency. He follows UK Grime, follows Funk Butcher, great, follows Julie Adenuga, the Lad Bible. Obviously, he wants to stay down with things. You let me know when something pops out to you. Richard Ayoade, yeah, cool. Adam Buxton, James Corden, Howard Webb, pretty cool. Grime Daily, yeah, okay. Aaron Ramsey, okay, cool. Talisa,
okay.
I'm gonna put that down to his PR team.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put that down to his PR team.
Yeah,
I don't. There's plenty of ways to kill an hour out there.
Mic drop.
Boy, thank you for killing some of us.